everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back. We are live here on drn1.com. This is Behind the Goals. I'm John. With me, Anthony. This is the pilot program, the very first show of Behind the Goals. We've run a little bit over what we said we would. We said we'd go an hour. The usual show is going to be 2, but we've just haven't been able to get it under an hour. There's just a lot to talk about, isn't there, Anthony?
Oh, always, mate.
And you know what? There's probably not more that we're talking about now than Brendan Fevola. So in the news today, very recently, Brendan Fevola has an Uber Eats addiction. That's right. The story has come out now. I don't know how to take this. Addiction obviously is a pretty serious thing, and you don't want to make light of it. But as we know, Brendan Fevola, big fella, loves to eat a pie or two. $35,000 on Uber Eats
multiple times a day.
Up to 4 times
to the point where he's had to delete the app.
Yeah.
So he's moved over to Deliveroo or something like that.
Is that an addiction or is that just laziness?
Oh, look, I mean, how many times do you walk to your fridge a day?
Well, it's
if you're at home. Like, if I'm at home a lot of the day, like, I'm going to my fridge and going to my cupboard because I'm just in, like, a days of, what can I do now? I'll get something to eat. So he must be on his phone. He's like, I'm between Tinder, I'm between, Instagram, I'm between... Uber Eats is down there. I'll hit that, or I'll order that, and then I'll give it a go. It's just in his rotation of apps.
It's convenient. It's not really real money. It's not your money, is it? Because you can't see it leaving. No,
I think that's what it is. It's all digital, and then he gets this. I think it's and it probably could be classified as addiction because it's, feeling down. You get instant gratification of, just you do what everyone else does when they need instant gratification. It's cheaper.
And of course, we're talking about watching the footy, and following the fantasy scores. Look, we hope Brendan Fevola gets over his addiction.
His serious addiction.
Yeah. Look, good luck to him. And look, another thing.
We're going to start having clinics for that, like when you're addicted to a certain app.
That you have to go into rehab for apps. Yeah. Look, I
there's
think
no way you could get put in the same one with someone who's addicted to something a bit harder than an app. It's more like the Betty Ford clinic for addictions.
I actually think that we're in this show, we're coming up with really fantastic reality TV shows that we would like to start up.
Watch the hell out of
Imagine Brendan Fevola being in rehab with a hardcore addict. That would be fantastic. Again, in the news, about 4 hours ago, and I think it was even around yesterday as well, we've got Bruce McAvaney and Eddie Maguire. They are commentating the State of Origin game. In fact, I'm not even comfortable calling it that. They're commentating the bushfire appeal game. It is the first time that they will be commentating in 30 years. Now, Eddie Maguire, he's a bit divisive, and as can Bruce be divisive. How do you think they're going to go together?
Look, what I love about Bruce is he just gets caught up and excited. And did you ever see that footage of him calling, I think it was a cup race or something?
He loves it,
and he just gets right into it, but... So it's infectious, and that's going to balance out nicely with the hate that you get for Eddie Maguire, Look, I'm probably still going to, if there's a radio...
Mute it and, put the radio on.
Yeah, I don't think I can sit through that.
No.
Because he's going to get really excited by what's on show if the talented players start doing the talented things.
Well, in fact, he was actually my inspiration for the intros to this show. You've got to raise that excitement, and you have to bring the people up with you. I'm not sure Bruce and Eddie are going to do that. I think perhaps people will mute it.
Well, I'm going to be surprised if Eddie knows players who aren't Collingwood players' names or on the list of people he wanted to get to Collingwood. So
yeah, he's quite biased, isn't he?
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to hear a lot about Pendlebury, and then I think it's going to be daylight.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Didn't Pendles do great there? You just stood by watching that ball go past as someone kicked the goal.
He's probably still going to be saying how good Dane Swan was in the game.
Oh, and look how much time and space. The time just slows down for Pendlebury. Did you know he has a basketball background?
It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of that. I think I'll be muting that one. One final story from today. Max Gawn was actually pretty close to being shown the door from Melbourne early in his career.
Yeah.
He, what a move that would have been for Melbourne, and what a loss.
Yeah, we've been right up there with picking Jack Watts at pick 1, isn't it?
Let's not go there.
They had some amazing stories through there. But look, full credit to them. He turned himself around, and they've turned everything around, and he's a dominant ruckman.
He is.
now.
He's fantastic, and not too bad on the old television with the adverts. I got to
Yeah.
say, I do get a bit of a chuckle with that. All right, well, look, we're going to wrap it up, but AFL Women is happening right now. We have GWS Giants playing West Coast. Last time I looked a couple of minutes ago, it wasn't looking good for the West Coast Eagles ladies. They hadn't
Fourth quarter it was.
Yeah, fourth quarter they hadn't even registered a score.
34-0. It's going to be hard to come back from that one, but you can never write anyone off. So
I think we can safely write off the West Coast Eagles ladies. But look, around the grounds, Friday night we obviously had St Kilda playing Melbourne. St Kilda getting up there 3-1-19, played 1-8-14. And then yesterday we had the Western Bulldogs 4-6-30 being defeated by Carlton 8-3-51. Gold Coast Brisbane, actually a very, very close game. So close that it was a draw, 4-4-28 for the both of them.
What do you think about draws in footy? Would you play overtime or just keep it as a draw?
I go overtime. I don't like the draw. I don't. Oh, okay, look, I don't mind the draw. In the finals, you've got to go overtime, right? You do.
Well, you have to, otherwise you don't know who the winner is. But yeah, I think
that's generally how it works in games.
Yeah, especially in finals. But no, I think it's amazing that at such a different level of scoring, 6 points to a goal, 1 point. It's so many different combinations that we can get to the end of the game and still have a draw. I think that by itself is amazing. But I think if you ask any player out there, they wouldn't want to take a draw.
Nobody likes a draw. But they are exciting, and it does add a little bit to the end of the season when you're looking at the ladder. And there's a few
guys with
players.
2 points. Yeah,
that's right. Then the other game yesterday, we had the Fremantle ladies playing Collingwood, just getting up there. 5-3-33, played 4-6-30. Anthony, the Fremantle ladies, they're flying. They're doing really well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're well coached.
That's
what it all comes down to. Like they've taken their strengths, they've maximized on them. Even like the players that they're pulling out, like that later the one, the rising star as a forward who kicked like 4 against West Coast last week. Like their development and their coaching, their positioning on the ground, they've just really bought in. Look, this is the downside to the conference system. Like without a conference system last year, they should have gone into the finals pretty far, but the way the conference system worked out didn't really favour them that well. But
do you see a way around playing the conference system this early in the competition? I mean, we know they don't have the same money that the men's competition has. It's not as easy for them to travel. Is the conference system the best we're going to get right now?
Start the season earlier. Like if they don't want to bite into AFL men's when that's playing, start earlier. Like, have a proper season.
I want to see the AFLW biting into the men's season. I do. I would love to see curtain raisers for games happening. I mean, that would be fantastic. It's going to draw the crowds.
Especially if you did like if you pay this much, you can come and see both games kind of thing. It's, I'd make more for them than they're making on their entry right now, which I think is free entry.
It is free entry at the moment. Look, it's early doors for this competition. It's only going to get better.
It's a competition you want to see do well, though.
You do want to see it do well, and I mean, I think the reason why I like Fremantle right now, that they've got such excitement. You look at Kiara Bowers. I mean, she is a machine, is she not? What was it last week?
She's one that tackled the streaker as well, didn't she? Just padding the stats, man.
Jumping in. That's the vegan streaker. You might not have seen the news, but there was that vegan streaker.
Activist. I don't think you can have a streaker if they leave their clothes on. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's right. Activist running through Optus Stadium during the Derby last week.
Tackled by Bowers. That was amazing.
And she'd already had 18 tackles for the game.
Yeah.
Or she
was on her way to it. But, I mean, once you start that tackle, you can't stop, can you? It's coming second nature. She's going to grab anyone near her.
No, that's right. So, yeah, it's GWS Giants playing West Coast now. It's looking like the Giants will win that one. Coming up later today, we've got Richmond playing North Melbourne and the Geelong Cats playing the Adelaide Crows, and that's 3:10 Eastern. And
so I reckon you probably chalked out North Melbourne and Adelaide as winners there.
Yeah, look, I think so. Well, look, that's pretty much the show for this week. It was our pilot program, the very first episode. If you did tune in live, thank you very much for listening. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, you can download the app drm1.com.au.
Look, I'm probably going to listen to it later to evaluate my own performance.
That's right.
When I'm listening to that, Anthony, you need to get milk.
So get milk. I might need a few more beers. I've just got to put them back in the fridge.
Yeah.
But look, I think I'm going to award a best on ground for this show. It goes to Anthony. No, actually,
The dude that died out the back, we got to like really.
we're giving it to
to posthumous
the bloke out there that's building the studio. He is doing great work, and it is
to him.
very, very needed for this studio. So, look, thanks for tuning in. We are going to be doing this every Sunday for the foreseeable future, I guess. You know, Anthony
Throughout
and I will
the
be here
season and everything.
throughout the season. We'll start to adapt the show based on what you like, what you didn't like. We do want this
give
to be
us
a people's
feedback.
show.
Go hard. Like, I'm going to ignore if it's really bad, but you know, like just.
Well, we actually won't. If there's anything that's too bad, we'll print it out and we'll put it up on the walls during the show. We'll take a few pictures.
Put it in the mirror and just to motivate myself.
Yeah, that's right. Send in your feedback. Send in your criticisms, anything you liked, you didn't like.
Your booze
we'd
make
love
us
to
stronger.
hear it. drm1.com.au. We also have the app. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Behind the Goals, and drm1.com. Folks, thanks very much for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye.